drop whatever you're doing. I have good news.
I can tell you're dancing about it. What's happening?
Actually, let's talk in my chambers. No telling who might be eavesdropping.
Alright, fellow clan members is all. Alright, I'll meet you there. I hope you don't mind that I've been in here already before. You're still dancing, look at you.
Okay, we can talk here.
You're just so excited and you just can't hide it.
Before that, I'd like to thank you.
Maybe he has to
Since
pee.
I became clan lord after the Red Year, I've tried to lead the clan as Volrina would have. To embody the ideal Quarra. But I'm well aware I never succeeded. I never even met Volrina. All I can do is imitate half-remembered stories. And for all our talk, the truth is, I know this clan is a poor imitation of the old Quarra. Or, at least, we were. The day we met, I heard a voice telling me to go to Kronvanger Cave. I can only imagine it was the voice of Volrina.
Not Volrina.
You were the key. I didn't know how, but I knew. And you've proved me right. Thanks to you, we've finally had some true victories. You've weakened our rivals, strengthened our position. We've even been approached by other clans, seeking alliances. And now, it's time to strike. We are going to raid Kronvanger Hall, and we are going to wipe them out. It's time to stop hiding in our lair and act like true Quarra. I want you to lead the attack. Go to Kronvanger Cave and find a way to their headquarters. I'll follow with the rest of the clan. Let us show Skyrim the true terror of the Quarra. For Volrina.
Okay, so he did stop.
Yes?
He did stop dancing. Which, that's not gonna be anything specific to the creation, that's just, you know, Skyrim being Skyrim. Oh, and you were ready for me. Hold on, I'm just gonna... Oh, sorry. Sorry, it takes a little while to charge. I'm sorry. Oh, they resisted? Okay,
Lucky
well...
hit.
Yeah, they're a little stronger.
Barely hurts.
Down you go. Damn, I was hoping they wouldn't resist. Just given the fact that, you know, Kronvanger Hunter, hopefully the more rank-and-file enemy. It makes sense why, like, master vampires would resist it, but given that it's a master-level spell, I would imagine that it would make sense for most enemies to be susceptible in the end. Oh, you can try to protect the Kronvanger, you insolent whelps, but it's not going to help. It's not gonna do anything. Wait, there you are. Oh, wait, you resisted it too? You're just a vampire, not even a master vampire. Oh, man. Which is so funny because, you know, just went down in a single hit. Hey. I'm just trying to use my fancy spell on you, you know? Really? And a fledgling resisted it too? Man. You guys are a lot stronger than I would have expected. You're a lot better at this than I would have anticipated. Yeah, for how much... for how much magic it costs to use the spell for it being a master level spell, I wish that maybe more enemies were susceptible to it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's a lot of enemies at once. Oh, hey, Nama, sir. Now, the weird thing to me is that the named Kronvanger, like Namasur, for instance, oh, I didn't shout. He had less health, like he had less HP than just like the Kronvanger guards and even the spiderlings. So I still feel like I would maybe like to see that changed a little bit. Like it almost feels like it's the opposite of what I would want that to be. I'd want the named Kronvanger to be the strongest ones. Not necessarily the spiderlings, because the spiderlings are supposed to be more, you know, kind of the weak ones, the fodder, the fledglings. I'm sorry, Narina, I'm sorry.
I'll feast on your blood.
I'm sorry, Rakaslad. Oh, I shouted at my friends. It's fine, you're okay. Wait. Okay, ooh, I got scared that Agrius was dead. No, he's fine. Oh, I got real scared that I just killed one of my people.
You'll pay for that.
I did not.
You're spider food.
I'm sorry, Rakaslad. It's nothing personal. It's really nothing personal. Narina, where are you? I'll finish you myself. Just because I feel like, you know, it's the least I can do for you. Oh, down she goes. It's also fitting that I'm using the Drushkashti War Axe.
Damn cowardly spiders.
Against the Kronvanger. The Kronvanger blood adorning the axe. As it should be.
God damn it!
Why, what happened?
A trap. Yelkar charged through that door after Vilkoslak, and the gate closed behind him. Without the key, we are not getting through. Split up and search the hall. The key must be here somewhere.
What, you need a key for that? Oh, you do. Okay. Well, that's gonna be from further in Kronvanger Temple, then. That's gonna be in the ruins of it, then. Oh, look at that. They still managed to
cowardly spiders.
recover the Grey Host Reliquary, even without me to do all their work for them. So we do still have the Draugr in here.
You damned Quarra! You'll pay
Oh,
for this!
oh, it's Velfred.
You'll pay for that!
Wait, so is Velfred like allied with the Draugr then? I guess so. In that case, I guess so.
I'll feast on your blood!
I would almost prefer if, you know, we'd instead replaced the Draugr with maybe a couple more of the spiderlings and stuff like that. Vilkoslak's Key and Infestation. Creatures and people up to level 37 attack randomly for 60 seconds on death. Elemental spiders burst forth. Why, thank you. And the other dots you see, they're just more spiders throughout the lair. They're just more spiders throughout the temple. Now, given that Yelkar rushed ahead, I wonder if he's even going to be alive. Like, what if he fell to Vilkoslak? And then Vilkoslak kind of showed, and it's like, oh, well, he wasn't fit to lead, but I guess if you kill me, you are.
Yes.
I got the key. Oh, nope, sorry, wasn't trying to do that.
Something.
Okay. Let's go. Follow me, I shall lead the Quarra to victory. Oh! Svenja's spider child? She is not attacking, though. I would love some backstory on who I just killed. Hey. I was kind of expecting you to be dead. Are you alright?
I'll live. But my pride won't. I couldn't even scratch Vilkoslak.
Really?
I'm counting on you. For the Quarra.
See, now I feel like I very much deserve to lead the Quarra. Okay, and we're gonna wind up in his dueling chamber yet again. Let me grab the letters. Let me grab these. And I should very much have the true ending unlocked. The notes needed for the true ending unlocked. Oh, you have quite a few spider friends. Wow, alright. Dueling chamber, more like breeding arena. Breeding chamber.
Your spider food.
You know what I mean. Words are hard. Oh god, there's enough spiders where it's hard to tell which ones are the bodies and which are still alive. Since I won't be able to use my spell on him. Just gonna use my soul. I'm sorry, Vilkoslak, I'm sorry. I will take your amulet, though. I'll take everything. I shall strip you bare for all your spiders to see. Because we're the Quarra, we don't believe in honor. We just believe in murder.
What is it?
Vilkoslak is dead.
Damn this wound. Let's get back to our lair. Patch up our injuries. We can talk after that.
Alright, you got it, boss. I will see you there.
Yes?
Is that it then? Have we really won?
It's a strange feeling, isn't it? We feuded with the Burn and the Iron Dale for over 1,000 years. It seemed endless. And yet, barely 2 centuries after arriving in Skyrim, we've destroyed the Kronvanger.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Skyrim is ours.
Thanks to me.
Don't think I don't realize who's to thank for this. Just as my dreams foretold, you were our savior. I need a bit of time to think. Go out there and enjoy the victory celebration, my friend. You've earned it.
He has to think, does he? Interesting. I wonder what he has to think about.
A moment of your time, fledgling?
Ah, yes, there you are. I've been waiting for you. Who are you?
The Vampirum Order sends its regards. Oh, no need for concern. We're not seeking vengeance. Domna Mardia's presence in Skyrim was unauthorized. I simply wished to extend my congratulations on your recent victory. The Order recognizes the Quarra's claim to the old holds of Skyrim.
So, you're the one behind all this.
Oh? Whatever do you mean?
I just drop all the letters in front of her. I'm like, I brought receipts. I have proof. Your notes made it clear enough.
Observant. Well done, fledgling. I see no reason to deny it. The situation in Skyrim presented a useful opportunity for me. Thanks to you, I have accomplished both the Order's goals and my own. The Order wanted stability in Skyrim, and I wanted a rival removed. Now, Skyrim's vampire clans can progress toward a proper alliance. This unity will be most beneficial for us in the future. And the fool who thought she could usurp my position lies rotting in the catacombs below Solitude. So, yes, I gave the situation a bit of a nudge. I told both clans about the Bloodfire Amulet and let Domna believe it was desired by our Lord as well. And you may hold me responsible for interfering with your dreams. It was a useful way to gauge your abilities.
So the Order isn't after the Bloodfire Amulet?
Not at all. It is of no value to us. Better for it to be in the hands of a native clan than rusting away in one of our vaults.
So, what now?
Now I will return to Cyrodiil. I will tell the Order of my success and of the Quarra's new position. The old holds of Skyrim are yours. And here, a gift.
Ooh.
Consider it compensation for any difficulties my little game may have caused you. One last thing.
Amulet.
The Order has no stake in Skyrim. If the Quarra wish to consider us allies, feel free to do so. But, please, remember our relative positions. You rule the Old Holds. We rule Tamriel. A gentle reminder, nothing more. Enjoy your victory, and welcome to the ranks of the Night. I expect great things from you.
Well, let's go celebrate. And it's the thing of, I was able to figure out, a fair bit of what they were doing, what they were kind of planning, even without getting that acknowledgement from her, even without her saying, oh, by the way, this is, what I did to nudge this along, to put the pieces in place. But it is nice that you're kind of rewarded for that if you're diligent enough to get those notes. A rare and valuable amulet belonging to members of the secretive Cyrodiil Vampirum Order. This amulet boosts the illusion, stealth, and speechcraft skills of its wearer. Alright then, look at that. Well, let's talk to everyone. Let's, celebrate, and then we'll go see what Yelkar has to say. Well, what happens now?
We need to deal with the Kronvanga survivors. Either recruit them or wipe them out. Leaving them alone just gives them time to plot revenge.
Do you think there
What
were
is
any
it?
Dwemer vampires?
Well, what happens now?
We're in a rare position now. Our enemies are broken and bleeding, and we're stronger than we've been in centuries. We should reinforce the base, build up our defenses, improve our armor and weapons, put ourselves in a position where nobody will ever oppose us.
Alright.
Enjoy the hunt.
Well, what happens next?
I've been working on making connections with other clans and some other potential allies. If we intend to be the leaders of Skyrim's vampires, allies and resources will be the key.
She's smart. She's good about recognizing what keeps the lights on. I'm curious of what this will say. Oh, what do you think about our feud with the now defunct Kronvanger?
Nothing. Why waste thoughts on the dead?
Boom. There
The
you
feud
go.
is over,
Cold-hearted
thanks to
Maliley.
you. Any surviving Kronvanger aren't worth our notice.
Oh, love it.
Enjoy the hunt.
Just a nice cutthroat businesswoman,
Something on your mind?
Well, what happens now?
We should send out the hunters to track down any surviving Kronvanger. It's a mistake to end the hunt before all the prey are dead. And keep a close eye on any turncoats who try to join us. They'd abandon us just as easily as they did their old clan.
Alright. I want to see what he has to say about the Kronvanger now that they're dead.
They got what they deserved. Those skulking cowards gave all vampires a bad name.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Those Dwemer certainly had
Do
interesting
you
tastes.
have a moment?
Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at you. Don't stop walking away from me. What is it?
I've been thinking.
Oh, he's still walking.
For all my talk about
Nope,
the
nope,
might
stop,
of the
stop.
Quarra,
Turn around.
it wasn't the Quarra that won this war. It was you.
You're goddamn right.
You've embodied Volrina's ideals perfectly. You've slaughtered our enemies, shown the world our strength. Whereas I, for all my schemes and plans, when it came time to face the Kronvanger, Vilkozlak defeated me. I only survived thanks to you. What right do I have to call myself our clan lord?
I'm just a weapon. You're the one who wields me. If not for me, the whole clan would be dead. I don't know what to say.
Then, simply answer a question. Do you think you could be a better clan lord than I have been?
What I'll say is I think they did a better job of kind of establishing why you should be clan lord of the Quarra than they did with the Kronvanger. Maybe that's just me. But I do think I will.
Are you certain? It is a heavy responsibility.
I will lead the clan to glory.
You've done so already. I look forward to seeing what heights you lead us to in the future, clan lady.
Brutality of the Quarra. Oh, and he's moonwalking. He's moonwalking. Oh, see, now that he's no longer clan lord, he has the ability to focus on these pursuits, dancing, moonwalking, the important things in life. Brutality of the Quarra. Melee weapons deal 5 points more damage. Unarmed power attacks deal 20 points more damage. Yeah, I just felt that with the way that they kind of introduced Yelkar, especially as like, oh, he never
Yes.
did Volrina, he was younger, he's in some ways a newer member in comparison to others, that even from the beginning they were kind of setting it up for he's maybe not the best to lead, he's just the one who is leading right now. Whereas with Vilkoslak, I personally felt
you're
like...
in charge now, hmm? Well, as long as you listen to my advice, you'll do fine.
Yeah, see? There you go. But I felt like compared to Vilkoslak, who... Vilkoslak had been around a lot longer, had known the previous clan lord, and despite the kind of missteps that the Kronvanger had taken, I still felt like he did a good job at leading them, even if it took me, you know, to get everything done.
You're in charge now, huh? Well, count on me to keep us well stocked.
Alright.
For the Quarra.
Man, can we hire the other fledglings? Can we have the other fledglings do all the busy work? Because
My lady,
I've done my
it's an
part
honor.
now. Now I'm in charge.
Clan lady, huh? Well done. You can count on me to keep us armed and armored.
Well, keep up the good work.
Ah, you're the new leader, hmm? Well, just leave me to run my business, and we'll both profit.
You got it. This was very much an enjoyable experience all around. There's a lot of things that I think were really well done in A Tale of Blood and Snow. And even with some of the critiques that I do have, I think the positives far outweigh them. If anything, I think some of my critiques are things that can be fixed, patched, and so on. Some of which already have after my initial comments on them in earlier video parts. And after likely a dozen or so hours, I can confidently say that I've seen the vast majority of the content offered by this creation. And I'm walking away from it very impressed. And even now, less than 2 months after the creation's launch, DarthVitrial still has plans for more updates, trying to update some outfits and add new minor features, just to continue to make sure that the creation is everything that they wanted it to be. I think A Tale of Blood and Snow serves as a great contrast to the Dawnguard DLC, and it can even work as a really fitting prequel to it. You find yourself infected by vampirism, you go through the nightmares and then have to choose between these two feuding clans, or join the Vigilant of Stendarr. Your efforts are then focused on helping your chosen faction against the others, a conflict that Clan Volkihar is sitting out on for the most part. It serves as a way to either start your journey as a vampire fledgling, or as an underdog Vigilant working with more limited resources. And regardless of who you join during the course of the creation, it can very easily lead into Dawnguard, where you either become a more adept vampire hunter with crossbows, a new fort, and so on, or you aid the Volkihar and have the chance to become a vampire lord. However, if you've already played through Dawnguard and sided with the Volkihar, your chosen vampire clan in this, be it Quarra or Kronvanger, will acknowledge this, and they see you joining as an unofficial alliance of sorts. The Quarra in particular act as a vassal clan for Volkihar, which is brought up in one of the new books added by the creation, and I really like that inclusion. The fact that you can only join one faction per playthrough reminds me a bit of Morrowind, where you could only join one of the great houses per save. It's something that helps to make each run feel a bit more unique. A Tale of Blood and Snow is DarthVitrial's first big project. Looking at their Nexus mods, they've helped to maintain and update several older mods, including Train Wiz's Wheels of Lull, and they've made a couple custom followers, but this is their first time making a new, full questline. And as their very first project on this scale, I think it's incredibly impressive. It's one of the largest paid creations to date, and it really stands out in that regard. I think one of the strongest parts of the creation itself was the characters, and the fact that we got 3 different sets of them depending on who you join. Each one with their own backstory, their own personal side quests, and obviously the many variations of new Radiant quests as well. Voice acting was very well done, and the actors did a great job of bringing their respective characters to life. If anything, it made me kinda sad seeing some of those characters die when then playing an alternate faction. I think there was a really good mix of dungeons overall, with my favorite being the Namira Cultist Cave, where you can find the Dreamcatcher Coffin. Dwarven delves were fairly sprawling, as one might expect, and Reachwind Depths also acts as an alternative entrance to Blackreach, just in case you're playing on a save that hasn't gotten to the attunement spheres yet. Adding new dungeons to both Blackreach and Solstheim was also something that I liked seeing, as these are world spaces that don't often get a lot of love when it comes to new dungeon mods. There's little things though, like the trapdoor placement for the Solitude Catacombs feeling a little out of place. But even with something like that, I know that this was a design choice made with other mod compatibility in mind. Getting to play the 3 factions back to back to back is probably not intended, and it very much makes sense that it might come across as a bit more repetitive should you do so in the way that I did. Still, playing it this way was a great way to really show the overarching narrative, that the Cyrodiil Vampirum Order is really the ones pulling the strings, which feels like it might be building up to something more. But even with these shared story beats and quests, it's done in a way that still adds some variance along the way. While the main questlines may seem short at 3 main quests, the special side quests for each faction help to flesh them out a bit more, and are honestly one of my favorite parts of the creation. I think the 3 faction bases make sense for each of the groups. The Kronvanger hiding out in a spider's lair as though they were more common necromancers or bandits. The Quarra taking over a grand dwarven ruin. And the Vigilant, who are living in the basement of Stendarr's Beacon, barely scraping by, with fewer numbers and resources. In my playthrough of the Vigilant side, you can be sent after either the Kronvanger or the Quarra as your final fight. And apparently, more people wind up with the Kronvanger. So the fact that I wound up with the Quarra means that I'm just kinda special. The interactions that I had with Beatrix at the end of the Kronvanger and Quarra playthroughs are completely optional, and they're reliant on being thorough and finding enough notes during the respective storylines. For instance, finding less than 2 of the 8 notes means that you won't see Beatrix at all. Finding 6 or more of the 8 notes then gives you the true ending, which you saw with my coverage of the Quarra. The amount of variance in a single playthrough, the fact that there's secrets to uncover, possibly different endings, and so on, continues to add to the replayability for A Tale of Blood and Snow. I love that you can tell Beatrix that you've pieced everything together, her plot and her involvement as a puppet master throughout your adventure. It was something that I was able to piece together on my own, but finding the needed notes and being able to call her on it in-game gave some extra weight to that realization. One thing that I liked on a technical side is the compatibility with SkyUI. That way, you can change the number of Radiant quests needed in order to continue both the main quest and side quests. While creations cannot require any other mods in order to function, that added optional menu really adds a lot of value and customization to the final product. And looking at the readme sent to me by the author, what really impressed me was the amount of built-in integration for other creations, mods, and Creation Club too. If you have the Vigilant mod installed, Sirta and Bazzer can comment on your progress within the mod. With Trainwiz's legendary dungeon creation, enemies from that can appear in Blood and Snow. With the Vigil Enforcer armor set from Creation Club, characters in Blood and Snow will opt to wear those. Compatibility with Survival Mode and Fishing, and several other Creation Club packs as well. So while none of these are required, Blood and Snow aims to integrate itself into your game as much as it possibly can. Now, I want to talk briefly about the development side of this creation. While DarthVitrial serves as the creator of the project, this was made possible by many other people. DarthVitrial signed on several people in order to bring this creation to life, including a voice director and editor, artists, dungeon designers, and QA. Several of the people that I saw in the credits are notable members of the modding community, including Eleonora, Unoctium, Betalil, and more. It goes back to the fact that modding is a collaborative effort, and even within paid creations, we're seeing how some of the best members of this community are coming together in order to make something great. Having spoken with one of the voice actors within the creation, I was told that they were paid an indie game rate, something that, for obvious reasons, isn't often possible when dealing with free mods. However, this is something that means that talented voice actors now have another way to support themselves, and it opens up an entirely new part of the industry for them. So that $10 price tag for A Tale of Blood and Snow is a result of people being paid for their work going into this, and it's something that I'm personally willing to support. And in the case of DarthVitrial, this isn't something that they're looking to do full time. They have a career that they have no plans on giving up. Modding is something they do because they enjoy it. A Tale of Blood and Snow was an idea that they had ages ago now, but they knew they didn't have the ability to pay for everything needed for it were it to be released as a free mod. This is an instance of a mod, well, creation, that wouldn't have existed if not for this program. Now, I mentioned I had some critiques, and a lot of them are more minor things that can definitely be polished up. But given that this is their first project of this size and scale, it's a lot of small things that I think are a little more common to see in people's first-time quest mods. Enemy balancing and density can definitely be improved upon to feel a little bit more in line with the vanilla game. Having a dozen or so enemies at once doesn't really feel great in Skyrim's vanilla combat, and I think both mods and creations are better off keeping this in mind. Some enemies, such as the Kronvanger hunters, who were wearing just basic robes, felt a bit tankier than they should have been, and were even stronger than some of the named members, which did feel a bit odd to me. But balancing is something that DarthVitrial is already taking into consideration, and maybe something that they continue to work on. Outside of that, my main point would be in regards to some quest stages and how those might be slightly tweaked. Instead of having a quest to kill 36 enemies, which updates after each enemy killed, maybe if there's a way to simply mark the last 3 or 4 enemies in case you missed any. It's little things like that. It doesn't ruin the creation or really significantly affect its quality, but it's stuff that I think can be addressed to make it look even more professional. As noted in some of the earliest parts of this playthrough, I did run into some minor bugs with different Radiant quests. But even within the first couple weeks since the creation's launch, at least 2 new patches were released, with almost all of these issues already being resolved by the time that you're watching this review. It really felt like DarthVitrial was trying to fix every possible issue as it arose, and they've continued to be very communicative about this in the video comments. As I noted earlier, the main quests for any of the 3 factions feel fairly short, and it does come as a slight downside for me. The special side quests and even the personal quests from each of the faction members do a lot to add more unique content, but I still would have loved for the main stories to have at least a little more length to them. Maybe have a quest where your chosen vampire clan shows that they're meeting with the other clans of Skyrim in order to try and build those alliances that they keep telling us about. In the case of the Quarra, I would have liked to see a quest discussing how they got so many Dwarven spheres under their control. There's a precedent for it in universe with the control rods, but having some conversations or a small quest about it would have been great for fleshing out the clan even more. I wish there had been some more interactions with enemies and targets. Being able to have more of a conversation with Yelkar or Vilkoslak before killing them for the opposing clan. That being said, I do realize that this is a result of having to stretch the resources across 3 different playable factions. So I'd be really interested in seeing how a new release from DarthVitrial with a single playable questline would play out. One thing that I like is that A Tale of Blood and Snow has an opportunity to tell a smaller, possibly lesser stakes story about dealing with the local clans, which is due to the fact that it's made by a mod author and not by Bethesda. An official DLC has much more pressure to tell a big, grandiose story. A paid creation by a mod author instead has the chance to tell a story with lesser stakes, but instead focus on characters, lore, and more. And as I've said before, I think the creations that will do the very best are the ones that look to give us new experiences. And I think A Tale of Blood and Snow does a pretty good job at that, giving us a chance to feel like we're really a member of a vampire clan, or giving us a chance to join the Vigilant of Stendarr after all these years. Giving us new dungeons to help flesh out that experience, bringing back the idea of the vampire nightmares, and so much more. At the end of the day, this was really fun. To the people who claim that creations lack the passion of free mods because it's now a business, I disagree, and I think creations like this show that there's plenty of passion involved. I also disagree that something being a business means there's no passion left. I've been doing YouTube and Twitch full-time for almost a decade now, so it's a business to me, but I still love what I do. Now, as for free mods that I would say are comparable, that's a bit tricky. There's a lot of quest mods out there, but not as many that really try to add more vampire stories such as this. But one mod that I highly recommend, which the creation itself endorses, is Vigilant by VICN, letting you join Stendarr's faithful in trying to eliminate Daedra worship across Skyrim. What starts off as dealing with individual witches and cultists very quickly becomes a grandiose tale. Vigilant is one of my favorite quest mods of all time, so do yourself a favor and check it out. Another free mod that I would recommend is Meridia's Order, in which you join a group of Meridia's followers in order to stop an insidious necromantic plot, leading to a conflict with some of Skyrim's vampires as well. This is a more recent mod release, and it's one that I really enjoyed. But that's gonna be all for today. As always, thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the Patreon or the YouTube memberships, both of which get access to the Discord server. And make sure to check out the streams at twitch.tv/0periodproductions. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.